All right, so here's the court's questions. And we're not on the record. Mr. Carney, what is your underlying issues? Or can somebody tell me?
Your Honor, to be honest with you, I was ashamed to come back in your courtroom because you gave me a chance. And with my family, we I stay up at my deceased brother's house, and honestly, my family feuding over the insurance policy money and the house, and I got caught in between in the middle. Now, if
Oh, that always happens. Nobody has a will. I always tell people, get a will as
yes, ma'am,
someone who doesn't have one, but that's what I say.
recently we all just moved from New Orleans to here, and it was by coincidence he caught a heart attack in his house, and when you let me back, I thought I was going to a safe place, and I wasn't, and I got caught in the middle. Now I'm not
So
gonna.
what's your plan?
My plan is honestly, 3 years ago, I was in an accident. I was inside of an Uber coming from I had two jobs. I was inside of Uber and got hit by an 18-wheeler. I was about to pay my probation off. I was gonna pay you guys off and try to go back home because I have two properties out there I have to take care of.
And where is home?
um Port Hudson, Louisiana, and New Orleans. That's where my dad's side of the family from Baton Rouge. My mom is from New Orleans, but I have property out there. I just want to just stop giving y'all state trouble and just do the right thing.
But I understand what you're saying and I'm hearing the words, but I still haven't heard what's your plan.
My plan is after I win my lawsuit, because I called the guy. I was inside of an Uber. And it's over $1 million.
Okay, let's do this. Let's assume,
I was gonna pay the whole 7,300.
no. Let's do this. Let's pretend. Now, I'm hopeful that you will win your lawsuit. But if you don't win your lawsuit, what is your plan? I'm trying to figure out what's your plan here today, because today you don't have money from a lawsuit. So what is your plan? Because if you don't have a plan, you're going to end up back here on a motion to revoke, looking at life in prison. So what's your plan?
My plan is to get back out there, find a job or two. It's just for my sanity, just work and stay out.
Well, where are you going to be staying? Do you have a place to live?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that at the same place where all of this was happening?
No, ma'am, not at the moment because the house is up for auction. There's no one really paying the bills.
Oh, that's what ends up happening when you have no will. Everybody thinks they're going to come in a lot of money when somebody passes. And then all of the relatives who never spent time with the person before they pass, and I call them out of town, the out of towners. The out of towners always come in and everybody wants a piece of the property. And then everybody stays at the house and nobody wants to pay taxes on it. Nobody wants to pay utilities. They're just living there. And then the next thing you know, wealth has just left the family because people can't be responsible.
You ain't lying, Mister.
So my question again is, let me do it this way. Do you have a place to stay if you're released today?
Yes, ma'am.
And who would you be staying with?
My sister, Felicia Carney.
And has she said you can stay with her?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And what are we going to do about employment?
My last month in March and April, I found employment with a family-owned seafood truck with my brother-in-law. His name is Leon Rowe, and his number is.
Oh, I don't need his number. I just need to know. I'm trying to make sure that you have plans because people are always happy to be continued on probation and then they have no plans and then we come back here. So I'm giving you a choice today, right? Here are your two choices. One, the state is saying they want me to sign this motion to withdraw. I will sign it. Or if you want to just do your time, I will revoke you and I will sentence you to 5 years. All right. So you want the motion to withdraw?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Miss Abrams, on this case, he's going to give you the address of where he'll be living, and that's where you're going to be living.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're going to give it to probation. Probation, is there anything else he needs?
But I would recommend if we're not doing, the inpatient treatment, I would recommend the intensive supervision for at least 12 months and the MRT class.
All right, do you believe he needs, any type of treatment?
He's already completed, dual diagnosis residential facility judge.
All right, so we have mental health going on here as well.
He was on the mental health caseload. He finished that. He finished an outpatient program. So, I mean, he finished his anger management. I would say the MRT, and let's keep him on the mental health caseload and the ISD supervision at the very least.
All right, so what I'll do is then the MRT, a referral to Center for Healthcare Services, because I don't want him, if he's supposed to be on medications, I don't want him not on his medications when he leaves the jail. The mid caseload and ISP. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
And do you want your case to see if your case can be transferred back to Louisiana?
If, yes, ma'am, that'd be nice.
All right, what parishes? Well, you have to pick a parish. You can't say, well, I have property in New Orleans and then I have property in Baton Rouge.
If you give me some time to figure out who I can call down there,
Okay,
and that would be nice, Judge. I appreciate it.
all right, so what we'll do is, because they can't transfer you unless you have a place to stay. He's gonna give you information about what parish in Louisiana. Once that's done, I'll sign the motion for transfer.
Okay, one of them for sure is Zachary, Louisiana.
I'm sorry,
Zachary.
all right, in which part of Louisiana?
That's like a city behind Baton Rouge.
Okay. All right, so just make sure that probation knows specifically which parish you want to transfer to. And you do not want to set yourself up for failure by just naming a parish. So let them know.
Yes,
All right. All righty.
thank you, Ms. Boyd.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
We're here for the defendant's motion on this aggravated robbery charge that he is on probation for, and Your Honor is aware of the facts of this case, being that he initially stole that victim's phone, ran away with it. The victim was lucky enough to later find him at a gas station close by, and when the victim asked for his phone back, the defendant pulls a knife on him and says, "Come and take it. Come and get it." With a deadly weapon, he threatened someone's life, therefore being placed on probation, for 10 years. We're here on the second MTR this defendant has had within the last 4 months. For same violations as it was just 4 months ago in June, Your Honor, where the defendant had a new number one that we unfortunately had to waive. That victim was his sister. He assaulted her. She did not want to come in to support that day.
Well, you
I
have-
would
all
strongly
object.
right, that objection will be sustained. If it was waived,
Okay.
then it will be sustained.
We reluctantly had to waive number one today. We were ready to proceed on the contested MTR yesterday. Victim here, sister here, to testify about what he did to her. They decided not to show up today. Therefore, we had to proceed on the technical violation of condition number 41.
Well, I
David?
mean, if you would like, my understanding that there would be no objections. If they would like to zoom in, I was gonna say it was working.
Formally, Judge, I don't remember, for the benefit of the record and on behalf of my client, I would have to object on their appearance on Zoom. I would ask them to appear in person.
Okay. All right, you may continue.
Only because of the defendant not coming yesterday, we were unable to proceed with trying to prove the assault that he committed against his sister on September the 4th, 2025. as such because of the underlying offense, because of his history, because he had the opportunity that Your Honor gave him back in June to go to Louisiana like he requested, but instead chooses to commit new crimes. They feel that he is not an appropriate candidate for probation. He should be revoked. He should be adjudicated guilty. There should be an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. State is seeking that Your Honor sentence to the 10 years TDC.
All right, defense, you may proceed.
Specifically to speak to him not registering or attending the moral recognition treatment course. My understanding is that he failed to, at least the date alleged, is a date in September of 2025. As he describes to me, he was released from jail in July of 2025. And he does admit to me that he did not register for the class. And part of that where he was struggling was a combination of him dealing with, as the court may be aware of, some of his mental health struggles that he's dealing with. He reports to me that he is schizoaffective, dealing with bipolar. I believe probation has some information about that. And he was also struggling with transportation. At this moment in time, in September, I think he was just struggling to function as an individual. He's just struggling to function. But I would ask the court to be mindful that while on probation, as far as I can tell, he's completed some of the outpatient requirements. He's completed anger management. There were a series of events where he tested for substances and he came back a series of times negative. He's been to DDRF, and when I ask him about his experiences there, he's able to recite their philosophy, the things that he learned. He's describing that he learned strategies on avoiding conflict, on what his triggers are. And other than this allegation of assault and a minor relapse with the substance, I think he's doing the best that he can. I think he was living in a household that was pretty volatile. And I think he's living with other individuals that struggle with them. They struggle in terms of how to deal with his mental health issues. And it's a bad recipe.
Mhm.
I have a sense that he's doing his best. He describes to me he wants to fight the new #1 as it exists on its own because it's a new case. So we are respectfully asking the court to continue him on probation with some sort of jail sanction, and to be mindful that he has given his mental health, he's doing his best to accommodate, that's the wrong word, to fulfill the agreement he's made for probation. So for that, Judge, we're asking for you to continue him.
All right, probation.
We have his probation officer here as well. Your Honor, if you'd like to hear from him.
No, I mean, what is the recommendation?
Oh, Judge, so what's listed on the court summary is DDRF followed by 6 months sober living at approved location, and ISP supervision upon DDRF, bi-weekly UAs for 60 days post DDRF. He did complete DDRF 121 days. He completed an outpatient program. He completed an anger management program. He has not completed the moral recognition therapy, the referral for Center for Healthcare Services. His last UA in August of 2025 was positive for amphetamines. And his last office visit with his officer was in August of 2025.
All right.
And I'm thinking that's because maybe that's after that his respiratory taken hold.
Okay. So here's the thing, Mr. Carney,
Yes, ma'am.
I don't think you're appropriate for probation. I granted your application over the objection of the state,
Yes, ma'am.
and I can only do so much. What the court is going to do is the court is going to find violation of condition number 41 as previously stated. The court is going to sentence you to 6 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. The court will recommend the therapeutic community. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. The court will give you credit for any time served for successful inpatient treatment.
I don't want to say that you're moving too fast, Ms. Boyd.
Judge.
No.
Miss,
Well, that's fine. You can call me Miss Boyd.
My principal in Shelmet Middle name was Mr. Boyd.
Okay.
Ma'am, I get it. I just came home November 1st and consistently back in your courtroom, and I am ashamed. Also, ma'am, the new class that you signed me up for, told me to go to, I didn't have no transportation. I didn't have no kind of ride. I'm getting kicked out of this house that my brother had owned, caught a heart attack in, and they had multiple individuals in there. I haven't even spoke my mind about what's going on in this house, from guns, drugs activity, and Center for Healthcare helped me, got my food stamps. Just one of the two same sisters are stealing my food stamps. Those are triggers that I learned. So I removed myself from that household
Mhm.
consistently. But I always went back because you know why? That's where I probate to. That was my original.
No, so here's the thing. I
Yes,
tell
ma'am.
everyone who's on probation in this court, if there's an issue, all you have to do is let probation know about it.
I did, Miss Boyd.
Mhm.
And also I was trying to tell you, like recently, I just cleared a $25,000 lawsuit.
Mhm.
Only thing I did for myself, ma'am, was buy a brand new car. It was $12,000. It's in New Orleans. My niece was driving it to me the day that I got locked up, ma'am. Consistently, if the system, I'm not gonna say the system failed me. I, I love Mr. Alcatar, my probation officer. I wish he could speak up on my behalf.
Mhm.
Ma'am, no. And I just moved back to San Antonio because I just recently found out in 2023 I have a 12-year-old baby that I didn't know, that I did not know I was
So
able.
here's my question. Why didn't you contact probation and say all of this was going on in your life?
I tried, Miss Boyd. I really
I know.
did. Because I was in jail. I didn't know not one, but two of my siblings passed away.
Mhm.
One of them overdosed from drugs. And
So here's the thing, what I want you to internalize.
yes, ma'am.
This is what I want you to internalize. I took into consideration your mental health issues
Yes,
when
ma'am.
I granted your application for deferred. And I granted that application for deferred over the objections of the state. So what that means is you need to be on what's called your P's and Q's and make sure that you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing. And
Yes.
you're not. So
And-
I just don't think you're appropriate for probation.
Oh,
So I'm
sorry.
not going to continue you.
Yes, ma'am. All right. And Mr. Alcatar, I can have a peaceful word with Mr. Alcatar before I leave
For
the
what
courtroom.
purpose?
Because he could tell you some of the things that I was going through before I got locked up, ma'am. I was explaining the stuff that you said that I wouldn't explain it to probation.
Mhm.
I was explaining to Mr. Alcatar. I knew it was going to be. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I knew it was going to happen. I was going to fall off. Ma'am, I just bought this car. I didn't have no transportation to make the last class, and I was going to complete the last class. I even much have the money right now to pay off my whole probation. I just didn't. It's it's the people that was around me, man. My family did not want to see me make it. I have all my probation fines and fees, the whole 7,000.
Oh, here's the thing. Your attorney can address with you whether or not you should be spending money to pay that because you're no longer on probation. That would be money that
So
Yeah.
to do 6 years, Miss Boyd.
you'll get credit for any time that has
You
been
could tell
served.
me how much time served that do I
To
have?
the clerk, can you look up
120
how much time?
And what about the credit for time served the last time when I was?
You'll get credit for any time that you've been in custody on this case, even prior to being placed on probation. In the motion,
Yeah.
because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Miss Boyd.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you. You're welcome.
It's a-